Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Damo Speaks. And of course, I am your host, Damo. So, I am sorry, you guys, that I did not upload this video on Friday like I'm supposed to. But of course, me being a full-time mom, I'm still trying to get into the swing of things. But for today, you guys, it's all about this new virus that's going around in our kids. It could be for adults too. And it's called the Respiratory Syncytial virus. Okay? And let me tell you guys, it is serious. This RSV infections virus thing, so serious. So, last week from today, my son was diagnosed with this new virus that's going around. And in the morning time, he had like a little cough and just like a runny nose. And of course, I thought it was like, you know what? It's just he about to get a cold, and it is flu season. I do keep on his hat and his big winter coat. Even if it is sunny outside and it was warm, I'm still having him with the hat on, the coat on and everything. But still, somehow he got sick. And it can come from many places. Of course, that he's going to a daycare. Another kid must have this virus and is passing it around. His teachers and other people that work there must not be sanitizing all the play stuff, the toys and everything like they're supposed to. But, it can come from many other factors. But usually RSV shows, symptoms within 4 to 6 days after getting affected. And I guess I was coming around with my son because I did notice that he was having, that runny nose and a slight cough and everything like that. And it was kind of hard for him to breathe. He wasn't wheezing at the time, but it was so hard for him to breathe. And most of the symptoms that you guys can look out for is, of course, runny nose, decrease in appetite, coughing, sneezing, fever, and wheezing. Now, of course, like with these symptoms, they didn't really come at one time, but of course they increased over time within the past 4 to 6 days and everything. And in very small infants that I researched, that they'll be irritable, they'll have decrease in activities and having difficult breathing. And also I learned from my son's pediatrician that some children or most children can have this virus by their second birthday. You know what? That's so crazy because like now we have this huge influx of children now getting sick. The ER doctor from Children's told me that, due to, us having COVID and we had to have the mask on and the gloves on and everything is being sterilized and all of this, that, and the third, that now with our immune system, we're not used to having, of course, COVID and new viruses that's coming out. Now it's really affecting us. And with me as a person, like, exposed me to this virus, exposed me to different bacterias and all that, because that is what our immune system is for, you guys. It's supposed to fight off infections, bacteria, viruses. If we keep having our gloves and mask on and everything, we gonna have a huge influx of people getting sick, especially our kids. Yes, we want to protect them from sickness and chickenpox and da-da-da-da-da. But let's be serious here. This is what our body is made for. And of course, some of you guys might agree, some of you guys might not agree. And that's fine. That's your own opinion. I'm just sharing what my opinion is, what comes from me and my kid. And also I learned that it will go away in a week or two, depending on your kid. Okay, every kid is different. I'm not going to say like, oh, well, it's going to go away for a week or it's going to be away for 2 weeks. You never know. It's all about you as their parent to give them what they need. And to relieve some of these symptoms, you guys, to control the fever and the pain, like you get like, pain relievers like Tylenol, ibuprofen, like Motrin, anything that can lessen the fever. Like once you guys get down that fever, the whole world it makes it easier. Because let me tell y'all, when I first picked up my son at daycare, he was running a fever of, I think it was 101, 101, sweethearts. Of course, me, I'm just being all kind of panicky and everything. And when I took him to Children's, they did his temperature again, but rectal. And it was 104. And you guys know 104 is bad for a kid. Like my son just turned 1 November 1st. Yay for Alex, but still he was sick for his birthday. But yeah, for a 1-year-old and down, like 11 months, 10 months, 5 months, 6 months, 3 months, that is bad to have 104 temperature. That is seizure territory. So when they told me that, I'm like, oh shit. Like I was scared, people. And at Children's, I kid you not, there was a lot of people in a waiting line and in the lobby that's waiting to get seen by a doctor. But luckily, my son was okay. He was still irritable and whiny and fussy, but still trying to calm him down. But another step to relieve the symptoms is get your child to drink a lot of fluids. Okay? It's important to keep your kid hydrated. You can tell if your kid is dehydrated if, of course, their lips is cracked. I know when our lips are chapped up and everything, we gonna get that Vaseline, that Carmex, that lip gloss, the lip balm, and everything to, make that go away and heal our lips. So that's an indicator that, sweetheart, your baby is dehydrated. Get them hydrated. Get them Pedialyte. Get them water. Get them milk. Get them anything to keep them hydrated. Well, most importantly, of course, water is the main go-to. For those of you guys who have younger infants, of course, you have to speak to your pediatrician if you can give your kid water. I know that when I was asking questions when my son was 3 months that he couldn't even have water. So I guess your pediatrician might recommend just try to feed them some milk. Like if you're breastfeeding, try to get them to breastfeed. If your child is on formula, get them to drink that formula milk. Like anything, get them to drink something. And the last step to relieve the system is talk to your healthcare provider, you guys. They will prescribe you some medicine for your kid. Of course, my son has Tylenol and ibuprofen / Motrin, and it works perfectly. Like you can do both in a day. Because Alex takes Tylenol 5 is it milligrams or something like that, and that's every 4 hours. The ibuprofen is every 6 hours, so I switched out in between. For those of those parents that have a kid that's 12 months and up, give them cough medicine also on top of that. Okay? Because now your kid can take cough medicine. And that really helps to relieve the coughing and everything like that, which is a big help. But then key everybody that your kid might have ear infections on top of this. Yeah, I've just figured that out when I took Alex to his doctor's appointment the other day. Yeah, with him being so easily congested and going through fevers and trying to get fluids in him and everything, he got a double ear infection. So now he's also taking antibiotics for that. So it's like, you just gonna have to look after your kid, from like snotty nose to the wheezing, how they're breathing. Like if they're breathing really fast, and that means they're overworking themselves just to breathe. And guys, I haven't been sleeping very good for the past couple of days because of this. I'm staying up at night just worrying. And I know that it's not going to help my son and everything. But, of course, as a mother, I worry. But then also as a person, I'm very sympathetic, empathetic. Like, shoot. Like, if I see a dog on the street that's a stray and looking sad in his eyes, like, I want to take that doggy home with me, you guys. Like, that's how extreme I am. Like, I want to take that dog with me. I just want to hold and cuddle him. Like, that's just me. But then, guys, also RSV can cause more severe infections such as bronchitis. And what bronchitis is, you guys, is like with our lungs, like fluid from being all incongested and having all that mucus, it comes down our throat and comes down to our lungs. And with our lungs, it has like little branches, and little mucuses can be on those branches and just stay there. And you can, if you have a stethoscope at home, you guys, and you put it up to hear your children's heart or lungs or anything like that, and you hear them breathe, you can hear like the little wheezing and the little sounds coming from like all the bronchitis and the mucus that's on the lungs and everything. And it's like inflammation of the small airways that you can hear. And also RSV can cause pneumonia. Of course, affection to the lungs too. And that's why, you guys, like, I'm being very serious. Because this is a serious issue. I'm seeing so many kids die from this. As I've seen all those kids in the hospital coughing and wheezing and crying. And as parents, we don't know what to do. We can't do nothing about it. And that scares the living hell out of us. And it's crazy because the healthy adults and infants that have been affected with RSV, they don't even need to be hospitalized because they just get over-the-counter stuff like Tylenol and ibuprofen, like I said. And like people, like older adults and infants younger than 6 months, they actually do need to be hospitalized because, of course, they're having trouble breathing and being dehydrated. And in most severe cases, you guys, they might require additional oxygen and IV fluids. And that is really scary because most of these cases that I've seen so far on Facebook and when I'm doing my research of everything, it's crazy. It's a lot. And as I'm telling you guys this, like, my son is getting better. And just today, he's now starting to eat more. So he is now gaining his appetite back. And he is using the bathroom regularly because, I kid you not, Me and my auntie started giving him a lot of water because that's only what he was feeding for, you guys. He only wanted water. He didn't want no milk. He didn't want none of that Pedialyte, even though I got a good flavor that I picked out. Yeah. But he didn't want that. He wanted water. And all that time that we was giving him water, he only just peed a little bit. Only just a little bit. His diaper wasn't even wet. It can go from it was 7:30, and when we try to look to see if he peed or anything, that was at like 11:30, close to 12 o'clock or something like that, and he didn't really pee a lick. It's like a small little spot. And then also, he didn't have a bowel movement. And when we were so concerned about that, guess what this little boy did? He had a bowel movement. I'm like, yay, happy mommy. But then still, didn't pee. Didn't want to eat. And what his pediatrician said, she said, okay, it is common for them to lose their appetite. She wasn't worried about his appetite. She was more worried, you guys, about him being dehydrated and not getting enough fluids. So she told us to just worry about giving him fluids. Still, of course, I'm still trying to get him to eat. And as luck would have it, he started eating. He started to act like himself. Started playing around. Starting to walk a little bit more. And that's all that I'm so happy about, you guys. That my kid is getting better. And I hope that with this podcast that you guys share around, it can notify other parents to get their little butts on the damn road and look at these symptoms that's going on with these kids. Like, you might think it's the flu, but it might be this new virus that's going around. And it's killing these kids, and of course adults too. But we've seen a huge influx of kids dying, mostly. You see it on the news, you guys. You see it on Facebook. You see it on any social media account. Just share this information. Share this podcast. Please, because this podcast is not only just for me, it's for all of you parents out there. Moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, aunties, uncles, cousins, like anybody who has a kid or wants to adopt or just for your own education or something. Share it. Share this. Because this is important. This can help save lives. This can have people aware of what's going on. It's another tool for us as a whole community to just be aware. I know my podcast just started up, and I know it's small, but with you guys as my listeners, you guys can make a difference. You guys can make this big with me. You guys can share this and help another family. And I'm so thankful that I have a whole support system behind me and that can see these symptoms quick with me. Because I kid you not, babies, I'm freaking out. Mama D freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. Because this is so serious. Because this girl that I work with, you guys, she's having her baby within this month. And she's listening to me. She's soaking up all the information that I can clearly give her about her pregnancy, the cravings, my labor process, and what's going on with my son right now. And yes, she's scared. And I don't blame her. But at least I'm helping her out so that she knows what to do and she doesn't have to figure out what the heck she's doing and if she's doing the right thing. Because she has me as a guidance, as a mentor, as a source of information that she can get from. And I'm glad to help her because I wish somebody would help me like I helped her. I wish I had therapy back in high school. I wish so many things, you guys, but life happens and this is what I get. And with this podcast, with sharing this with you, can help so many more people. And I hope that this podcast does. So sorry, you guys, for getting all emotional and all, like having all that information thrown at you and everything. But yeah, like I said, this is serious. And I hope this RSV stuff, I hope they make antibiotics and has a vaccine for it pretty soon. If not, then we'll use what I said. Get Tylenol, ibuprofen, talk to your healthcare provider. Have a lot of fluids in you and in your kid, and of course, sterilize your environment, wash your hands, do anything to keep your kids safe and you safe too. I don't mean like go disinfect your whole house, like from top to bottom, every surface and cracks and crevices and all of that, okay? I don't want you to go all freak mode on me, okay? But of course, like, keep the house clean and sterilized. Of course, the kids' toys and everything. And if any of you have your kids in daycare, get on they asses. Get on them. Because if one kid is sick at the daycare, then all of the kids get sick at the daycare. So make sure that whatever daycare that your kids are at or school, tell them that they need to sterilize everything. Okay, keep everything clean. Because I know that when one kid's sick, everybody gets sick. That's a whole given. But thank you guys for listening to me. I'm still sorry about not posting yesterday. But hey, today is a new day. Damo is here. And I'll be back next week. So, thank you guys. I love y'all. And I hope that this information will help you and anybody else that's listening. All right? I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.